Welcome back to the channel, Umeed Ka Safar. Today's story is not just about what happened, it's about what we believe we see, and how sometimes, even our own eyes can betray us. We trust our vision, our first impressions, our judgments, but what if the truth lies behind what we assume? What if the most painful deceptions aren't spoken, but silently absorbed through the glances we misread, the expressions we misunderstand, the stories we never cared to ask? It began with Ion, a soft-spoken boy who walked the streets of Baltimore with a sketchbook under his arm and silence in his eyes. People looked at him and saw a loner, maybe even a bit strange. He never smiled at strangers, rarely spoke unless spoken to, and preferred sitting by himself on a bench near the harbor. To many, he looked cold, distant, odd, but what they didn't see was the sketchbook full of faces, not just faces, but lives. His pencil danced with pain and light. He drew the expressions people made when they thought no one was watching: mothers waiting at bus stops, tired and heavy-hearted, old men staring out of hospital windows with fading hope, children pretending to be brave in broken playgrounds. One evening, a woman named Hannah sat near him on the same bench. Her eyes were red, mascara smudged, but she was pretending to be fine, just like so many do. Ion glanced at her and began to draw. She noticed, felt awkward, and quickly wiped her tears. "Why are you drawing me?" she asked sharply. He paused and looked up. "Because you're trying not to cry," he said. She was stunned. No one had noticed. Her friends didn't. Her husband didn't. But a stranger did. Ion's eyes, though quiet, saw what others ignored. But Hannah wasn't the only one who misunderstood Ion. Teachers thought he was unmotivated. His neighbors believed he was antisocial. Some kids even teased him, called him names. Nobody asked why he didn't talk much. Nobody wondered why his eyes always looked like they carried weight. The truth: Ion had selective mutism, a psychological condition triggered by trauma. He could speak, but he couldn't, not without immense internal struggle. His voice had been quieted years ago by something so painful he never spoke of it again. He was the child who saw too much, and now he saw everything, but spoke of nothing. We often claim to be observant, don't we? We say, "I know something's wrong with her," or, "he seems off," but then we move on. We scroll past people's cries for help. We laugh at reels made out of mental breakdowns. We mislabel grief as drama. Depression becomes laziness in our eyes. A panic attack is called overreacting. We see people through lenses that serve our comfort, not their truth. And that is where the lie begins. Not from them, but from us, from our eyes. There's a boy in every street, a girl in every school, a man in every office, hiding something behind a perfectly practiced expression. We praise people for being strong, when they're actually breaking. We admire them for handling it well, when they're suppressing tears every night. We believe the lie their eyes tell us because it's easier than asking, "Are you okay?" and really meaning it. That's what happened with Ion. People praised his calmness, but never questioned his silence. His art was his only voice, and no one really listened. One day, a local newspaper featured his sketches in a small art exhibit. People came, admired his drawings, and for the first time, Ion's world wasn't invisible. His art showed people things they missed in real life: a bus driver's loneliness, a cashier's tired smile, a child hiding behind his mother in fear. The crowd began whispering, "Was this really happening around us?" But these were not new things. These were always there. It's just that their eyes had lied for years. And Ion had finally made them see. But even then, some still couldn't accept it. One man scoffed, "He's just making people look sad on purpose." Another said, "These drawings are exaggerated." That's the thing. Truth makes people uncomfortable. And when your version of reality is questioned, your first defense is denial. But the truth remains. Our world is filled with people who smile to survive, who laugh to hide, who live behind masks because our eyes don't allow them to be vulnerable. In the days that followed, Hannah kept coming back to that bench. She started to talk more. Slowly, Ion did too. He shared the story of how he had lost his younger sister in a fire caused by a short circuit, while their parents were away. He blamed himself for not saving her. His voice hadn't worked since that night. Hannah cried for him, not out of pity, but out of understanding. She too had lost someone. A miscarriage that had taken more than just a child, it had taken her sense of worth. And there, in silence, two broken people began to heal each other. You see, healing doesn't always come from grand gestures. Sometimes, it comes from being seen. Truly seen. Not the clothes we wear or the smiles we force, but the soul beneath. That's what Ion gave others through his art. And that's what we must learn to give in our everyday lives. When someone says, "I'm fine," don't always take it at face value. Watch the trembling lip, the stiff shoulders, the eyes that dart away. Look deeper. When our eyes told a lie, is not just a poetic phrase. It's a reality of our time. We're surrounded by emotional illusions, filtered happiness, curated success, and artificial strength. We see people post achievements and assume their lives are perfect. We hear laughter and think, they must be doing great. But we don't hear the silence between the moments. We don't notice the cracks behind the smiles. Ion's story reminds us to look again. To look closer. Because sometimes, the truth is not in what we see, it's in what we choose to ignore. And the greatest kindness we can offer is presence. Not advice, not judgment, but just being there. Being the person who doesn't let another suffer unseen. So, next time your eyes tell you a lie, that someone is just being dramatic, probably okay, or not your concern, stop. Think of Ion. Think of all the people you passed today, all the glances you dismissed. And ask yourself, what did I miss? What pain did I walk by without noticing? Thank you for being with us on this emotional journey. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to feel seen. This is Umeed Ka Safar, where every story brings you closer to empathy, and every voice, even the silent ones, matters.